So there's this big narrative about female surrender and, oh, now we're going to be modern women and we're going to re-question all this. We're going to question the domination aspect of the masculine versus the feminine, or the hierarchical view, blah 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 blah. And basically modern marriages are breaking down, insanely breaking down. They're financially incentivized, but I think they're emotionally breaking down before they're incentivized to break down, really. So the emotional degradation precedes the legal degradation of the institution. But let's get back to basics. I mean, the Bible will talk about submitting to your husband like the church submits to Christ, and submission to all things. So that's a Bible verse. Um, what is it? Ephesians 5:22 through 24. So what does that mean spiritually? Let's just dig into that. What is the foundation of it, right? What is the first principle? Like, as a female, look at your body, right? And look at what females are interested in, right? So the feminine is variety, is creation, right? Like, she has a womb, she has the capacity to create. But what is a hyper creative place? Right? Like, look in nature. What is the extremely diverse place of the world, like a jungle, right? What does that jungle have? Right? It has medicinal plants, it has amazing healing fruits, blah blah blah, amazing life. It has terrible snakes in it, it has cesspools, it has chaos, right? So creation and chaos is the feminine, right? Heaven and hell, right? What do you do when you submit to a man, all right, to an honorable man? Let's frame it in the most productive way possible, right? In the most positive sense. If you're surrendering to an honorable man, what are you doing as a woman, right, that has natural capacity for both creation and chaos, right? I trust you with my fear, right? I'm giving you my fear, right? Because you are my man, right? You are an extension of me, right? Once that trust is there, right? Once you've vetted and established, you extend that trust, right? I accept you as my external masculine, right? Like, you are a part of me, and like, really asking, trusting him as your fear killer, as your antivirus, right? As the masculine energy moves into the jungle and destroys the poison, right? But keeps it's a clear cutting of any kind of poison ivy, right? But allows you, his love for you allows you to keep the positive elements, right? It's like the masculine is a control burn, gets rid of the brush, gets rid of the overgrowth, etc. Allows for a new life. So you're trusting the forest fire of the masculine to cleanse it, in a sense, and allow for the healthy expression of the feminine. I trust you to get me out of hell, right? The rationality, like pure rationality, is impervious to uh, the seven deadly sins. It's impervious to emotionality. So, yes, it is cut off from the higher level ethereal expressions. It goes from emotions to like sublime divinity, but he's also immune to hell, right? If you look at how the devil, how delusion, how the prince of lies operates, it's all emotional. It's all seduction of emotion and pleasure to like replace squirting with spirituality, right? Like, you can you don't need God when you what who needs God when you can just squirt, right? Whatever manifestation that takes place as, right? So the honorable man will surrender his life, if necessary, do anything in his power to take her to God. Meaning, this is my woman. He has, in claiming and positive claiming and ownership owning her space, willing to destroy her hell in order to bring out that divine expression, right? To bring her to God. That is the highest level dance between that energy. Now, the feminists will hate this categorically, right? You don't need no man. You can do this on your own. Why surrender? Well, as a mature man, you now have a mature reason, right? And we're all also just pressured to develop that. Like, yes, you need your own agency as a woman, but you also need like an extension of your rationality, an augmentation, right? So, and a lot of times that's like a lifelong thing. So you're very dependent upon your father as the rational external. Then you become dependent on your husband as the rational external. And then, as time goes on, you get more and more dependent on your own rational, your own masculine, without shutting down your feminine, right? With allowing that full expression. So, what if you take that out, right? If you blunt that, I don't need no king, meaning you just fester in hell. That's what a lot of modern feminists do, right? They have their hookup decade, their decade of decadence. They end up alone with 5 cats. They fester in hell for 50 years. In purgatory, right? And by the time they're 40, we need men, right? Where are the men going? Why are you going overseas? Why are you running away from us? That's purgatory. And the men by the opposite stance is, if they can't surrender, we can't do our jobs, right? Like like we will surrender our lives, right, for an honorable woman who can surrender to us. But you can see how the order, we surrender when they surrender, right? They cannot be, like, as a masculine, you cannot take anybody out of purgatory who's unwilling and unwanting to go. So that is the divine dance. That's the exchange. Obviously, that can be inverted, right? If I'm a pimp asking you to surrender to my will, I'm just trying to use you and your body and to get money, right? That's a dark masculine. Don't surrender to a dark masculine. Like, you have feminine intelligence and feminine instinct to choose an honorable man. That's where your choice comes in. You choose to surrender in order to, you surrender the peasant to become the queen, right? It is losing to win, so to speak. So that is the shift in feminine development. And without that surrender, you don't move forward. And that's how Satan wants it.